Minecraft is a game of limitless possibilities. You can build, destroy, and fight anything you want in this endless sandbox game. Eventually, there comes a time when you have to ask yourself, is there more? Well, luckily, there is, because you can attempt to break some records. We were surprised to see the sheer amount of records players have broken, and that is why we've compiled this list. Here are 10 records that Minecraft wants you to break. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to The Gamer for more exciting videos on the games you love, and ring that bell to become part of our notification squad so you never miss a video. 2-block jumps. Jumping in a video game is nothing new, and dare we say, not very interesting. Jumping is something almost anyone can do, assuming you have at least one leg that isn't broken. In fact, it's the cornerstone of the platformer, one of gaming's oldest genres. Aside from platformers, there are jumping puzzles and other jumping-related exploits in games. It's something people honestly don't think about, which makes it the perfect mechanic to break records and do amazing things with. In Minecraft, there have been a few jumping records that have been broken, but as of making this video, there exists only one record for the most consecutive double block jumps, and that record belongs to a user named Matt Guggenbiller. Matt posted a video in 2012 where he placed 30 blocks raised and 2 blocks apart. He then jumped down the line without hitting the ground and repeated this until he stopped at 283 consecutive jumps. The video is still available on recordsetter.com, so it can still be beaten. Considering the only real challenge to overcome is the boredom of jumping consecutively more than 283 times, this should be a piece of cake for anyone willing to attempt it. Pigmen Slaughter. One of the most satisfying things in Minecraft is fighting monsters. There's just something simple and satisfying with killing hordes of monsters with the weapons you've crafted. Of course, the only thing more satisfying than killing monsters is seeing how quickly you can do it. The Guinness Book of World Records has been keeping track of many achievements and records in Minecraft, and one of them is seeing who can kill 10 zombie pigmen the fastest. The record may sound simple, but there are some rules. For starters, this has to be done by an individual and not a robot. Next, this can be attempted on all systems. This includes PC, 360, tablet, PS3, and 4, as well as mobile. This record also has to be completed in survival mode, so no creative mode entries are allowed. Before the timer starts, the player must fill all 8 slots in the hotbar in creative mode, because after the challenge starts, the player will not be able to add to their hotbar. After the hotbar is filled, players must switch to survival mode and complete the challenge. There are a few rules on the Guinness website, but above all, this has to be done in the original Minecraft game. No mods or cheats will be allowed. No matter what you do, it'll be hard to beat the record of 1 second. Rock bottom. Did you ever think that there would be a world record for hole digging? Well, actually, there are several records for digging holes, but some of them are in Minecraft. There's a record out there for the fastest time to reach bedrock in Minecraft, and Guinness has a few guidelines for this challenge. For starters, this challenge is to be attempted on either creative mode or survival mode. The object of the challenge is to reach bedrock successfully. This record can be attempted on all platforms. To make sure everything is fair, Guinness has a neutral world where contestants can try the challenge. To set the seed for the world, select more options when creating a new world and enter the code GWR. The timer starts when the player enters the world and ends when they hit bedrock. The player must then switch to survival mode by opening the console and entering /game mode S. Once the player enters survival mode, they can pick an area and start digging. Like the other entries on this list, no cheating or mods. It wouldn't be much of a record if you cheated to get it, right? The record is still open despite being pretty much unbeatable, as the top time is 2 seconds flat. But be our guest and go ahead and see if you can hit rock bottom. Tool time. You won't get far in Minecraft without tools. Part of the fun is trying to craft better and better tools with your crafting table and a little time. Of course, if you can craft all 10 tools in record time, that's also cool. The objective in this challenge is simple. Craft all 10 tools in the game in the fastest time possible. This challenge can be done in creative mode and is open for all systems. Before the player can begin the challenge, they must have an empty crafting grid. Next, the player may not add things to their hotbar once the challenge is started. The timer starts when the player is ready to build and ends when they've put the 10th item in their inventory. The tools you need to craft are a stone shovel, iron pickaxe, fishing rod, flint and steel, lead, shears, clock, compass, iron hoe, and diamond axe. You can craft these in any order. The average time to beat is around 25 seconds. The current record holder is Daniel Bleek from the Netherlands, who completed the challenge in 24 seconds. It takes a lot of muscle memory and remembering how to arrange all these items in an instant. The challenge may be tough, but it's totally doable. The Iron Giant. If there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that robots rule. In Minecraft, you can build what's known as an iron golem, which is, well, a hulking creature made of iron. Look, it's not complicated and neither is this challenge. Successfully build an iron golem in the shortest time. For this challenge, the player can play on any platform in creative mode. The rules for this challenge are a tad long, so we'll try and shorten it up for you. Basically, the golem has to be built from a pumpkin atop a T-shape of iron blocks. The player must construct the iron blocks from scratch. Before the challenge begins, the player may load up their hotbar with the necessary materials: 64 stone, 64 coal, 1 pumpkin, 36 iron ore, and 4 wood. The timer begins when the player is ready to build and ends when the golem is complete and comes to life. As part of the challenge, players must create a crafting table and furnace as well. There are a number of record holders, but the #1 spot goes to Roland Moran of Slovenia, who completed it in 1 minute and 12 seconds in January of 2016. Home improvement. The first thing you may be compelled to build once you start Minecraft is a house. Home is where the heart is, serving as your base of operations and your fortress from the monsters you're hiding from. Of course, it's one thing to build a good house and another to build a house effortlessly. Guinness has posted the world record for the fastest house constructed for both PC and console versions of Minecraft. For this challenge, the player must be in survival mode and the timer begins when the player spawns. They can build the elements of the house in any order they want as long as it's at least a 4x4 base. The house also has to include a 1-block hole for a window and a wooden door. The door must be placed last because the timer ends once the door is in place. There are only a few attempts for this record, but the time to beat is 1 minute and 31 seconds by William Perez of the United States. The record itself is simple, but don't let that fool you. To take down this challenge, you need to be incredibly organized and ready to go. Stairway to Heaven. How high can you make a stairway in 1 minute? Well, Guinness would like to know, as they put forth a challenge to see who can make the tallest flight of stairs in 1 minute. For some reason, Guinness only made this challenge available for console players, so PC players unfortunately cannot participate. The stairway must be a freestanding structure built by only one player. A true staircase doesn't require players to jump, so for this challenge, the player can only use L-shaped stair blocks. The video you send in must have a complete stairway with no gaps, but it can have horizontal landings. The record is based on the height of the stairway, not the amount of bricks used to make it. After 1 minute, the player must show the height of the staircase by walking down the completed staircase, using the debug menu to use the coordinates feature. This is used to accurately show how high the player is on the y-axis when they completed the stairway. There are several entries on the Guinness World Record website, with the #1 spot currently taken by Matthew Quick of the UK with a score of 27. He submitted his record in January of 2016. The Woodsman. Have you ever wanted to release your inner woodsman and just go crazy on an unsuspecting forest? Well, then you should attempt to beat the world record for the most wood cut down in 3 minutes. This challenge is done in survival mode and must be done by one player. The object of this challenge is to collect as much wood as possible in 3 minutes. The timer starts immediately when the player spawns in the game and ends at 3 minutes. If the player decides to make a wood axe or workbench, they will not be counted towards the final total because the record only counts wood blocks collected in the 3-minute time limit. To prove the player is not cheating, the game must be an original version with no mods or cheats installed. Also, a timer must be visible to show that a full 3 minutes has passed. Start your pistons. Now we're moving into a more technical challenge, and by that we mean building something a little more advanced. For a time, there was a record for the fastest time a player could build a 2-block piston door. This challenge can be done in creative mode and begins as soon as the player spawns in the world. There is no set way the player can build the doors, and they can build any elements of the door in any order. The player must create the doorway using 4 sticky pistons to create 2 pillars 4 blocks apart. Next, the doors must be made of glass blocks and be attached to the sticky pistons. The player must then create a circuit using redstone and attach it to the doorway. Finally, a switch must be made and attached to the circuit to complete the doorway. The timer stops as soon as the player flips the switch to activate the door. There have been many attempts for this challenge, but it ended when Fabio Orion Paulo from South Africa completed the challenge in just 15 seconds in December of 2015. Luckily for prospective challengers at the time, there were 2 versions of this challenge for both console and PC. High on the Hog. In a previous video, we talked about unlocking an achievement for riding a pig in Minecraft and making it fall off a cliff. This was known as the When Pigs Fly achievement. Now there's a new record that people are looking to beat. How long can you ride a pig? The thing about riding a pig or any wild animal in Minecraft is that you're not in control of the animal when you ride it. You just have to hang on for dear life and hope everything will turn out okay. Well, there are several records for longest distance ridden on a pig, but the current record holder is Kayla Duarte from the US. This player held on and rode a pig for for a staggering 21,392.88 kilometers. That is over 13,000 miles. She submitted this challenge to recordsetter.com in March of 2017. The challenge is still open for anyone who wants to beat this record. As of making this video, there are no strict rules in place other than you have to use the original version of Minecraft with no mods or cheats, so we here at The Gamer challenge all of you to get up on that hog and ride. We'd love to see how far you make it. And those are 10 Minecraft world records that are currently out there. Do you think you're up to the challenge? If you are, let us know in the comments down below. Also, don't